Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at some different Dooms teams that are available within the current roster that we do have. So those are the two teams that will be running. I will have just released a short on this particular Dooms team minus Victoria, add one Aphrodite. And again, the reason that I've gone with it this way is, or at least within Palace of Penrose anyway, is because of Leviathan and Aphrodite. They just provide so much utility and so much value. But in this one, we are going to go with Victoria and primarily because of the Monarch synergy that we can grab here. So pop Victoria in this spot. Now let's go through the units. Specifically, I want to take a look at Doris, Merlin, and Halissa, and the interactions that we can get for those units. So to start off with, we will start with Halissa, the biggest fish in the pond. She is absolutely fantastic and was a game changer when she got released. So let's take a look at what she does. So this is primarily what you get her for, is the increase to HP when you have 3 or more monarchs. So I do have her 4 red runes, and that is what you should be aiming for with Halissa. She is good standalone without these runes, but the runes should be a priority. And again, it's because when deploying 3 monarch synergy mates, Halissa and monarch synergy mates increase their max HP by 500%. That 500% is no small. No, it's nothing to shy away from, or at least it's nothing to underestimate anyway. It's a very, very powerful effect, especially given that in seasonal content in slot 1 you can get an additional 500 max HP for Victoria, and also there is an artifact that you can run in PvP specifically, so that when you do run this slot 1 unit, you can get an additional 300%, so it'd be a max HP increase of 3000%. So let's quick deploy over here. We can take, in fact, I don't want any of these in, to be honest. We'll take those out. Let me go ahead and pop in 300% attack. Sounds good. We will pop in you. That's the 300% HP increase that we've gone for as well. And let's add in one of these as well. Go ahead and, in fact, take you out. Pop you in. I know we're going to go for increase reflect rate, and then we will go for max HP by 20% as well. Very good. So let's pop Arthur in this front slot, and then what I'll do, so it was, we've gone through Halissa, now let's go through Merlin and just see what he does before we jump into any gameplay. Merlin is a relatively slept on unit, but he does absolutely fantastic work, and it is primarily the reflect boost that he provides. So when he does attack, he adds on stacks of reflect boost, linking in with Halissa's passive. I know I didn't go through it, but if you want to read Halissa's passive, effectively what it breaks down to is the more stacks of attack and more stacks of reflect boost that she does have, the better off the rest of the team will be, and the more buffs that she will provide on upkeep. Now this secondary active by Merlin gains 2 stacks of reflect boost. Merlin additionally increases reflect rate by 25%, and reflect rate goes up, or attack goes up with reflect rate as well. I do have his half red runes, gone with reflect on those, but it is physical damage increased by 30% for all allies. It's non-stackable. Each time Merlin takes action, applies 1 stack of reflect boost on all allies for 3 rounds. And then the next one, it's a little bit confusing the way that this is worded, but you will always get that applies 1 stack of reflect boost on all allies for 3 rounds, except this time when he does it, he has 50% chance to apply 2 stacks of reflect boost on 3 allies, and then if you do get him up to 4 red, he does apply 2 stacks of reflect boost on all allies for 3 rounds whenever he takes action. So working very well with Halissa at that time, or when he does take action. Now we do have Doris as well. I did want to go through Doris just to show off the potential that she does have. So her ultimate damage, Doris summons oceanic beings, dealing 525% magic damage. That's no small number, and grants 2 stacks of reflect boost to herself and allies in the same row. So you really want her on that back row to maximize the number of reflect boost stacks that you do provide when she does ultimate. She also does the same thing with her secondary skill. The third bit, the first passive, is each time Doris takes action, when the total reflect rate of the ally team is greater than 100%, which it should always be, there is a 50% chance to apply Vital Drain on all enemies for 1 round, stopping them from healing, which is very important. Doris also additionally increases reflect rate by 25% for herself, but it's her runes that really take the cake, and it's why she was run so much before all of the new DD units. Sort of between seasons 1 and 3, Doris was a powerhouse, but it's fallen off ever so slightly. The effect still remains the same though. You do want full red runes for Doris. You don't want to be messing about with half red. I've gone with half red just because I thought that was enough, and I can tell you now it is not. You do want full red runes to utilize Doris correctly, and it's because when Doris is deployed, the reflect damage of Dooms is increased by 100%, and there is a 100% chance of dealing additional reflect damage when enemies take action. The way that the Doom's passive works is, say for example, Merlin will go after Doris. So this Merlin here will go after enemy Doris. What will happen is Doris will first, if she has her full red runes, she will deal damage back to Merlin before he does any damage to you. So he takes the action and then reflects the damage straight back. Following on from that, Doris will then apply normal reflect damage, and then she will apply the Doom's reflect damage. So once she's been hit, she takes that damage and deals it back, and then there is a final bit of relic reflect damage. So if you do have Doris's full red runes, you are looking at 4 instances of full reflect damage. Now, something to take note of with the Monarch synergy, when a Monarch takes damage, if there are 5 or more Monarchs on the enemy team, they will only be able to take a maximum of 30% damage. However, with that full Doom's Reflect plus Doris's passive, it supersedes that, and you do 4 instances of damage. 4 times 3 is 120%, so effectively you can do an entire Monarch's HP pool if Doris is on the team. Whereas if Doris is not on the team, you do not have a chance of doing full reflect damage all the way back. So to the full extent of what they can do. Enemy will be left with 10% HP after they attack, if their attack is strong enough, or if your reflect rate is high enough. So those were the ones that I wanted to show off. We have seen Leviathan. I do have full breakdowns on what Leviathan does. She is a big piece of cake, and I tell you now, she is going to be in the meta for a long time. What her primary focus is this passive here. When Leviathan is alive, there is a 50% chance that enemy heroes' active skills will redirect their target damage to themselves. So not only would they be taking actual reflect damage from Doris's passive here, if you have her full red runes, but they also have 50% to redirect all of the damage that they were going to do to you back to themselves. This is important because it ignores enemy defense. So normally reflect damage, or at least when you attack an enemy, you will hit their defense and it will reduce the amount of damage that they take. Whereas with Leviathan, when an enemy attacks themselves, it doesn't, which is why it's a really potent ability. Now we move on to the next team. This is a standard Dooms team. In fact, I think I'll take Halios out of there, and let's go ahead and pop in Ayushta just for that Deviant synergy. So we do have 3 Celestials, and we have 2 Deviants on the team now. I have been tempted to use Snow White, but again, Snow White is, to say the least, Snow White is, she's not a Dooms. I don't think she's a Dooms. I think she seems more of like a Valianter than anything. She's just all about that damage, whereas Dooms are sort of indirect damage dealers as well. Arthur, very, very powerful. I use him in a lot of my teams. He is, in fact, currently in my PvP team, my PvP solo team in the arena, and works very well in that team, and it is primarily because of this passive here. When an ally, not this one, this one? No. Oh, yeah, it is this one. Sorry, my brain is not working. When an ally deals reflect damage, all allies have their attack increased by 10% and max HP increased by 10%, stacking up to 50 times. So you can get up to 500% additional attack and HP, respectively. Now, Arthur really pops off when you get him to 10 stars, in case you are not aware. The stat increase effect of Celestial's synergy is raised by 60%. So if we have a look at this here, all of this is raised by 60%. So as you can see, the start of battle increases crit rate by 15% and attack by 150%. For the ally team, this effectively goes up to 210%, I believe it. This is how it works, and the crit rate goes up as well. So having Arthur on the team in PvP specifically is very, very strong. And every time this pops, so when Arthur is deployed, he grants all allies 25% chance to reflect any debuffs and back to the caster. Also goes up to 50% if you got him at 7 stars, and at 10 stars, every 50 instances of this proccing triggers the purification and dispel effect of the Celestial Synergy. So that's the second part of this. When one ally unit dies, purifies all debuffs from all allies and dispels all buffs from all enemies. So that will proc every time you reflect 50 debuffs back to enemies. Very, very strong. Dahlia I've done a lot on already as well, so go back and check those videos out. I'm not going to go through Dahlia, I'm not going to go through Cleo again. We know how powerful those two are. If you don't, go and check those previous videos out. Ophelia, I've not done too many videos on, but Ophelia is very, very powerful. All you need to know about Ophelia, at 6 stars, every time we increase our HP, she also gives 50% of that to attack as well. So we increase our HP and we increase our attack. Very, very strong. Now, I'm going to run Ayushta in this position, primarily because I'm sort of out of usable dooms. You can run Helios. I do have his runes, but they're not super effective in this particular mode. I'm not going to run Lamia because she's not celestial. I don't have Madeline's runes, and I'm not going to run any of the others as well because we are looking for as many celestials as possible, really. But I do need to balance that with Ophelia and having that second deviant synergy. So let's jump in. Let's see how well these teams do. I do want to see how well this first team does. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to lose on this one, but I've been wrong before. Now, again, if you do want to win with this team, effectively, you pop Aphrodite in this position, in the slot 1, or in you change it up with Doris. But the reason you would do that is because of the Monarch synergy. So you'd have, you would still have 4 Monarchs on the team, and your HP would go up by 500%. Now, as you can see, we're doing a lot of damage back, and that purple shield is where Leviathan is kicking in here. So we aren't proccing it altogether too much, but we are reflecting a lot of damage back. Now, we do need a healer on this team, which is why I have gone with Victoria, because she will heal the amount of damage done to all of our allies here, which will proc Grace of Hunters for us. As you can see, we're doing much more damage than we were before, and Halissa here really starting to come into her own. Merlin to do a lot with his attacks, and also Doris now to do a lot with hers. Reflect rate pops off. We are going to retaliate here with a lot of healing. That is a lot of healing, and we have actually fully built up already. Really strong. So we get our reflect rate. Enemies taking a lot of reflect damage here, as you can see. A lot of reflect damage on Ayushta, and Victoria here doing a fair chunk of damage. See Leviathan this attack, but again, it's not these attacks that are going to win the game. It is the reflect rate that's going to win the game, and it is Leviathan's, those purple shields that keep popping up. That means that attack has been reflected back. It also means that the attack that's reflected back can also include any reflect damage as well. So indirect damage can be reflected back to these enemies, and as you can see, reflect damage finishing off the enemies here. So very strong, stopping them from taking any action effectively, which is what we like to see. There's somebody going up the stairs. Of course, of course. We'll see whether or not I have to pause this. But this team is slightly different in that we're not specifically relying on that reflect damage. It's more the direct damage that we're going to do to the enemy team here. With Arthur and with Dahlia, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. The reason that we include Cleo on this team specifically is kind of because of the Phantom synergy that we've got going on, but it is more to play into the attack and HP increases that we get for Arthur. So every time Arthur does deal reflect damage, he deals additional damage equal to his HP, not more than 1000% of his attack, which is why we switch with Dahlia. Dahlia increases both his HP and also increases his max attack as well. But Dahlia here doing maximum damage. Maximum damage. She is just one of the strongest units in the game, and one that I think you should be chasing as much as possible. I am still chasing Dahlia up to that sort of 12-star mark. I think I've got her up to the 12-star mark, but I'm just greedy. I just want more. So we do get Ayushta popping off here, doing phenomenal damage. Again, that second team is more about the direct damage, whereas the first team is more about the reflect damage that's being done as well. So bear with me. So sorry about that. Just had to sort something out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take Victoria out of this particular lineup, and I'm going to pop in Athena. We're also going to take out Leviathan, and I'm not very happy about it, but I will pop in Snow. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm going to keep an additional Monarch just to get Hallis as passive. And I will keep Victoria in. No, we'll see how well Snow White does, to be honest. So we'll keep Snow White in this front. Snow White, kind of a tank. What you are looking to do with Snow White is get her as low as possible, HP-wise. You get her HP below 30%. She transforms. There's no actual visual that I've been able to detect. There's no visual showing off of what that skill looks like. But what I think is she does absolutely phenomenal damage after that point, but it's just getting her below that 30% HP. I found to be actually quite difficult. She's not like Lancelot. You can't just pop her in, 6-star, 7-star, and she's super effective right away. I do think that she kind of needs more stars, but she needs to be able to effectively, she gets below this 30%, like we're at probably like 30% HP or a bit above 30% HP here, and what we need to be is below. So we need to take some damage here, but we don't want to do it too much. Now I think she has transformed here because she did recover a little bit of HP. We'll see how much damage she does, but I'm not expecting altogether too much. No, she's not transformed. I don't know. I don't think she does anything, to be honest. Snow White, I don't think she's worth chasing. In my opinion, anyway, I don't think she's worth chasing. There we go. So she definitely went below 30% HP there. So we'll see whether or not that does make a difference. No, it does not make a difference. What I'm going to do, we've tried Snow White. I'm going to take her out. Like, it is what it is. Also, something to note, a lot of people don't realise this, but there is a Lightseeker faction. So this Lightseeker, every 1 stack in buff gained by Lightseeker heroes increases damage boost and damage reduction by 3% up to 20 stacks. So you do get up to 60% damage reduction and damage increase as well. Can be a very powerful effect, especially if you've got all these Lightseekers. But Lightseekers is more a synergy for whales to worry about, because you need to have literally, I would say 15 plus copies of every single unit on the team, and it's not a super viable strategy. Now we are seeing a lot of damage back, a lot of reflect rate damage back. As you can see, a lot of damage done there, a lot of damage done here. The reason that we did more with Athena and with Merlin and with Ayushta is because Doris's passive kicked in. Same is true of Minotaur down here. The only one it didn't kick in for was enemy Sylvan. Again, we're not expecting a lot from this team in particular, but it is possible to win with this team, is what I wanted to demonstrate. Specifically, with Doris, she's put the work in right there. So we do get the Grace of Shadows kicking in as well. Let's go ahead and skip this. I think we've seen enough from this team. We did get there by round 9 eventually, but could be much better. Now this I have absolutely no fear whatsoever with this team. So we're going to go ahead and skip. Yeah, round 3, absolutely fine. Dahlia to do the most, of course. What I'm going to do, take you out. I just wanted to see whether or not it was a viable strategy. It looks like Snow White definitely does need more stars. So we'll pop in these two again. And we can pop Merlin in this, Hallister in this front row. We'll trade round here, and then we can jump back in, and let's see what a difference it makes to have those two those two DD units over Athena and over Snow White. Now you could go full enchanters for the Dooms team, which is kind of okay. It's kind of what you're doing already with Leviathan on the team, but I still think the best team to run would be a Monarch team, which is why I've gone with the 4 Monarchs here, and plus Doris as well. You can also run Doris with Arthur. So effectively, you would be doing 5 instances with Doris on Arthur's team. You would be doing 5 instances every time Arthur deals reflect damage, because you would have Doris's passive kick in, you would have the Doom's reflect passive kick in, you would have the relic passive kick in, you would have the normal Doom's reflect damage kick in, and you would also have Arthur's additional reflect damage kick in. So it's 5 instances of reflect damage that you can potentially be doing. I mean, look at that. With the difference with having Victoria on, no duh, but the difference with having Victoria on compared to Snow White, we're just taking him out so quickly. Again, it's so strong. It really is really strong. There we go. Reflecting all of this back. I mean, they've got shields up at the moment, but it's going to do absolutely nothing for them. Yeah, there we go. So we are all stunned, unfortunately. It's because of enemy Talinas. That does tend to happen. If Talinas has a high enough reflect rate, then that was Doris's passive, by the way, kicking in, which is why she's so strong, is because of the reflect damage that she does before enemies take action. The only reason Lily and Leah have not died yet is because they don't actually deal any damage. So they're not as compromised when it comes to reflect rate. So we'll go ahead and skip this. We've seen this team before, and then what we'll do is we'll skip through the next couple. We'll go through 15. We'll leave it at that. And I think what we'll do is we'll skip through to 20, and then we'll see where we get up to with these teams. Yeah, bear with me. And here we are back in for round 20. So we're going to jump in. Medusa is the enemy we have countered. I believe Merlin. Yep, Merlin does counter Medusa on this one. Enemies are 4 Monarchs strong, so it might take a little bit longer to kill these guys off. Again, the reason for that is just because of the Monarch synergy. But it is what it is. So we are also getting our defense reduced every time we do attack the enemies, and that is with thanks to enemy Talinas. However, I think we should be absolutely fine. As you can see, increasing our defense at the same time, so it's not really mattering altogether too much. This purple shield popping up for Leviathan as well. Very, very strong effect, and as you can see, working wonders, to say the least. So we'll go ahead and see. Yep, Victoria to heal us all back, and then Leviathan is going to start to do absolutely massive damage. Yeah, 5,700, that's a lot. Almost as much as Hallister on her direct damage. Now we do remove all of the buffs that the enemy boss has put on there as well, with thanks to Merlin. Flipping heck. Doris doing 18,000 million. This reflect damage is just absolutely stopping the enemies in their tracks, which is why enemy Merlin went straight down there. Now we do respond back because of our Grace of Shadows, doing 10,400 million and not taking very much damage at all. Reflecting all of that back as well, with thanks to Hallister's passive. All of these buffs being laid on us thick and fast with thanks to Hallister. We do get Merlin to do what he needs to do here. And then we should see this over in the next round. Round 4, not bad, we'll take that. Yeah, there we go. Reflect damage taken out, Lily and Leah here. And that was Doris's passive. Again, if you can get Doris's red runes and you have a strong Dooms team, she will be invaluable. She really will. She is so strong. Really is. A lot of people I see, again, running her on this team specifically, where in the same position as Ayushta. They switch Cleo around with Arthur and then take out Ayushta, put Doris in instead for the double strikers synergy. Just having Arthur and Doris increase their attack. Very powerful indeed, especially in PvP. And Doris's runes, if you have her full red, running her alongside Arthur can be a very strong combo as well. I don't have her full red, so for me it's not super worth it. Now I am running the Magmata as well, this relic right here. It adds that burn effect that you can see, so the karmic fire that we see applied, that is the reason that we are able to burn these guys out. We're very close to finishing off Medusa there, but unfortunately not. But yeah, Doris to do a lot of the work in that first match, and Dahlia to do the most work. Again, you just don't beat Dahlia. She is the strongest Doom by far, in my opinion anyway. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there are other units within the Dooms, other team setups that I could be using? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.